It's going to reload the stream. It's streaming. There it was streaming. It says it was streaming. And it says start streaming. Now I've started streaming. Oh, and now it's, oh wow. Just a whole new layer of fuckery. You saw it automatically, caught the stream and got the stream and everything was streaming. This is how I do the stream every single fucking time. Now let's see if a notification goes out. Why would they just add why change it? Why? And why was Carlos here acting like a bot? The fuck are you talking about? Fake fucking thing named Carlos. What's up, Manuel? Carlos was 0 people watching and has been saying this kind of weird shit. And this is what I mean. You or your account a Babylon 5 joke while I'm sitting here not notified and 0 people watching. Pick weird times to do some vague shit. Ambassador Orlando. Ah, so I'm supposed to get Londo from that. Well, anyways, moving on to the other weird shit. Carlos, how the hell do you know we were even live? How about that? Because not only did I do everything that I fucking normally do and it didn't work, second time in a row, but giving feedback right here caused it to freeze and crash my browser. And then it said start streaming right there. Instead of being whited out, it was a button. Press the button, and now it started streaming. Okay, you got lucky. All right. When I see weird shit, I usually think either somebody's account's been hacked or somebody's trying to speak in code to me. Start out talking like you're fucking talking code. So I was rolling with the code talk. Fucking purple dog barks at midnight and shit, Anyway. So, feedback crashed the browser. And then, while this was working right here. This was working just fine. I hit the now blued out start stream button. And now it's not working. But now, this is working. Where this just wasn't fucking showing up before. So, alright. How many fucking minutes does it wait? Can I see how long this one's been broadcasting? I don't know. Showing for viewers, showing the amount of info, showing a weird matrix of, ooh, look, a matrix of mouse pointers too. Check that shit out. The matrix has my mouse pointer. Anyway. I am not supposed to be making a broadcast, according to my wife, because I'm fucking tired and I haven't been feeling good. Had to deal with the dead mother's legal issues today. Had to go sign my mother's life away, or corpse away, or stuff away, or whatever. I've been having to deal with little bits of things being brought back to the house, memories and whatnot. So anyways, I guess this is all freaking working now. So I'm gonna put it where it's supposed to be. Perhaps just a bit, if I'm really lucky. Okay. Well, no, isn't that fucking special? We have somewhat of a normal looking screen again. How about that shit? Green line or arrow bar, green line or arrow bar. Okay. So anyways, now that everybody's joined me, I'm going to put the freaking song back on and make other preparations. try this again. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Lost Begotten channel, where I believe Alex Jones had a song for us that he wanted to sing at the intro to the video. Alex, do you still feel like singing your song, man? I think he's all out of prep for it. Maybe I could just get him ready again. There we go. You ready, Alex? Okay. Le poisson, le poisson. How I love le poisson. How I love to chop and to serve little fish. And that's it. It was funnier full screen, but not much funnier. So, take a moment, read that. Beware of the Antichrist. Danny, what you having problems with there? Breaking news. Danny is having technical differences. Technological differences. Yes. Pox up with the loop, couple boxes, check off, buffering info, don't log it. What browser are you using? Mozilla and Chrome, like all. If you're on a Microsoft computer, use Internet Explorer. If you're on an Android, use Chrome or the browser that came with it. That server that crashed because they had FreeCell and Mozilla. That's it. All it took, take down that server. Are you using it on a Microsoft PC or are you using it on a tablet? Because otherwise, if you might want to just turn off pop-ups in general. You shouldn't. I don't think you should need pop-ups to be able to watch YouTube videos. But anyways, if you're on Android, there's an app for that. Apparently, I downloaded a shaving app and installed it on my face, which is weird. I know. But anyways, I stayed up all night doing more pages of business planning. Let's see, how many fucking pages have I gotten done while not making videos? Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages, which will condense down pretty well once I type it all up. But there's still stuff to be added, possibly to the backs of some of this stuff. So, got the fish we're going to breed, initial system setup, monthly costs breakdown, equipment cost breakdown, building materials cost breakdown, strategic market analysis, which is fascinating. If you have 320 million people in the United States, I was using rough numbers, skewed the other ways, skewed to the screwed ways, to basically give myself not the opposite of the benefit of the doubt, to give myself an uphill battle as far as the numbers go. So I'd have a conservative estimate as far as what the projections were for the market potential. And about 50,000 people in my area, about 140,000 people in surrounding areas, but I'm going to not go into that one. So of the 320 million people in the United States, 2.5 million people own saltwater aquariums, or 2.5 million households have saltwater aquariums in them. Which basically means, the guy, and if he's lucky, his wife too. Usually, sometimes it's a girl, but more than often, saltwater is it's a dirty hobby. So like, if you find yourself a girl who's in a saltwater fish tank, chances are she's just like, she's a keeper. Just saying. Anyways. So 2.5 million households. That is 0.7% of the population. 0.7% of the population. So if you take that percentage, 0.7% of the population, and apply that to the number of people in Zachary, which is 50,000, you come up with 390 people. And I projected that each of them would spend between $30 and $100 on food, $80 to $500 on supplies, and $50 to $500 on livestock per year. If you take the bottom number of $160 per year, you get a earnings potential of $62,400 per year, ranging to $1,100 per customer, up to $429,000 per year. But that's a lofty projection. That's pretty much meaningless. That's like a max profit figure. Okay. But the 62,400 is realistic, because if you work backwards and take the total amount of sales in the pet industry, and you account for the percentage of the saltwater population, percentage there. Okay, so you have basically $70 billion per year, at least, will be spent in 2018 on the pet industry as a whole. 0.7% of $70 billion is $490 million. Okay. 0.019% of that market share is in Zachary, Louisiana, also known as 50,000 people of 320 million. And that gets you $76,562.50 per year, or 0.01%. Yeah, in Zachary. 0.04% in the surrounding areas, yielding a more realistic gross potential of $214,000, $214,375. So monthly gross range, with the forwards calculation, $62,400 breaks down to $5,200 a month. Backwards calculations with the profits based on percentage of population, $66,380 a month. My overhead is projected to be 1400 plus 700. Let's see. 11. Fucking. 1115. I mean, 2115. Excuse me. Yeah. And monthly sales, minimal goals, what I'm going to call my sales quotas, put me at 3,200 plus 3,200 in monthly tabulatable profits, mostly aquaculture, clownfish sales related, and breaking down the annual, like things that aren't high volume sales things, like 10 units a year for a complete aquarium system. The total of that divided by 12 breaks down to $285 a month. So that's $3,485 minus $2,100. And that's including, you know, our car insurance and water bill and electricity and rent and shit. The 1415 is overhead for the for everything, you know, all the bills and everything, and supplies and everything for the shop. And 700 is for rent or, you know, mortgage note. So 3485 minus 2115 is, let's see, I gotta write this shit down. I can't do math in my head with people watching me, especially on YouTube. It's weird. I don't have a pen. Okay, I do have a pen. Let's write this down. 3, 4, 5 minus 20, 34, 85 minus 1, 1, 5. 1,370 profit-ish, you know, to live off of, which is frankly better than we're doing now after bills are paid. A lot better than we're doing now. But then, man, I'm talking, that's without, these profits are without YouTube, without donations to the mangrove sapling grow out, basically. And I mean, without wholesaling of fish. This is the retail sales quota for fish is only 40 clownfish a month. I could produce around 500 clownfish a month out of that facility easily. So even if I'm selling to the wholesaler at $1 per fish, that's, you know, $400 extra dollars. At least a couple hundred extra dollars. Yeah. About the whole spirit pressure feeling weird. Microsoft, man, use Internet Explorer. That's funny. I kind of feel like a stormy ocean. Just about to hit that point where the boat and the wave just kind of collide and splash everything up. And I think I just got seasick doing that. I'm just kidding. Hope I didn't get anything else seasick. I've been like dork sick. Alright. So, $3,485 minimum sales quota, but according to the existing market, should be $5,200 to $6,380 per month market potential in this area. And I, of course, with my weird looking building, am going to attract my own market. Going to try to build the existing market up. Also through outreach with the supplying of mangrove saplings to the coastal restoration programs around here. You know, hopefully I'll get more people interested, because people should get their kids interested in it just as far as an educational aspect. And by the way, the secret way to turn a Republican into an environmentalist is to talk them into buying a reef tank. They'll learn about it. They'll learn science and facts, and it'll get to them after a while. Maybe it's one of the reasons why I'm so weird, because I'm a conservative and I'm an environmentalist. Which is the reason why I'm a conservative and I'm not a lying moron. So, pressure. So, anybody's got some pressure relief? There we go. That should take the pressure off you for a while. Strategic market analysis. Basically, just working the numbers forwards and backwards on what kind of money is there out there in this business. And I got my annual low volume profit items, complete setups, filters and pumps, media, nets, magnets, water. Water, I really lowballed it. I only put it at 800 gallons a year. I'll probably sell something more like 2,000 to 4,000 gallons a year, and that profits me $1 per gallon. I could cut the price and still make 75 cents a gallon, and I will if I get high volume. I might even do it based on volume. You know, if you buy it more than a certain amount, make it $1 a gallon. Anyways, pre-mixed salt water. And it's going to be blended for not too much calcium that it kills fucking snails. If you use reef crystals, kiss your snails goodbye. That's all I'm saying. Anyways. Retail livestock. I have right here a blurry sketch that you cannot see, but what it is basically is each of the fish tanks, and I have like a numerical positioning chart, and I have each of the types of livestock for aesthetics and compatibility. So I can fit, shit, what's my high number here? 22. I can have 22 fish for sale that I get from a vendor, as opposed to the fish that I grow, which are going to be for sale elsewhere in the shop. And that's my whole I've cut down rows upon rows of the retail livestock section. Now it's 4 29 gallons and 2 55 gallons, just one on top of the other. And that's going to be centrally sumped into a tub so I can cut it off from the main system for quarantine. Which, yeah, they'll all be quarantined for quite a while. In fact, I might basically just use the main system for water changes on that system. There's lots of creative ways I'm going to be cutting costs. Ooh, I can make this one bigger. Move it over there. No, can't make it bigger. It'll screw up. I can just leave it where it was. Just fucking stop being a moron. How about that? No. How could I stop being a moron? That's just too much. Anyway, I have my limits. Anyway, speaking of being a moron, so examples of the fish that I will be stocking, a little more expensive than I thought. I didn't realize how many fish I could fit in there if I did my compatibility just right. But 22 fish that's a pretty penny when you're talking saltwater. So I'm hoping to get a good wholesale deal on them. I'm doing the cost and retail. As I get those prices, flame angelfish, coral beauty angelfish, bicolor angelfish, pygmy angelfish, or flameback angelfish, one of the two. A queen angel or an emperor angelfish, one of the two. Sailfin or a false-eye butterfly fish, copper band butterfly fish. I'd like to try my hand at possibly breeding copper band butterfly fish, just because there's something that people buy a lot that dies a lot. So I'd like to maybe try to get some hardier ones on the market. I'd be surprised if somebody else wasn't already trying that, but it's worth more than one people. It's worth more than one hobbyist or industry person trying it. Anyway, I'm poor, so I have to be an industry person just to be able to try it. So that's what I'm going to do so I can try it. But anyways, copper bands. There are types of copper bands that will pick corals clean of nuisance bacteria and like it's just a really pretty, very delicate, very overcaught fish. Anyways, but the rapid tissue necrosis bacteria that overtakes a coral colony, they've seen copper bands picking at that shit. So theoretically, if you had a bunch of copper bands, they might be able to stop some of it. Anyways, if I could raise a couple thousand babies of them, hey. So Picasso triggerfish, clown triggerfish in the central tanks. You're gonna have predators and bigger fish. Ungulate triggerfish and aptasia-eating foulfish, top left and right tanks. Pufferfish, miscellaneous, whatever's pretty that's on sale. Porcupine pufferfish. I want to almost always have a porcupine puffer in stock. Yellow tang or sailfin tang, blue tang or striped tang, blue striped tang. The dory, the blue tang. Since somebody else is trying to breed, actually a couple of people have successfully bred, dory, the hippocampus blue tang. The one I might try is the powder blue tang or the blue striped tang for breeding. And that will be more than likely done in the big main system. I'd like to have a snowflake eel. Ribbon eels aren't really happy in captivity, so I don't really want to get a ribbon eel. But snowflake eels, they do just fine, as far as I know. And then you're going to have some sort of wrasse or parrotfish, scooter bunnies, and hotfish. I'm going to be breeding mandarins. Going to be breeding aptasia-eating foulfish, but I think that's going to take a little bit longer to pair. I don't have a pair yet. I have a pair of mandarins already. And Bruce is gaining weight, y'all. Bruce is gaining weight. He has got his appetite back, and he's able to take more than just live foods again. So, doing good. And I still got mysis in the little 2.5 gallon right there in the bedroom. So, things I need to acquire for aquaculture. Still need to get a Picasso percula and an onyx percula to mate with my lightning semi-onyx. I don't know how to describe this one percula I have. He's a crazy looking fish though. And then my semi-Picasso. I'm trying to make more Picassos and onyxes. And maybe lightning onyx percula. Maybe. Big maybe. Seahorses, gonna do big seahorses and pygmy seahorses. Copper bands, blue tangs, and I'm gonna try to do queen angelfish and flame angelfish on the same system, because I think that, I forget the name of it. There's this new very, very expensive angelfish that looks to me like a cross between a queen angelfish and a flame angelfish. I don't see how you could get those two to pair up and spawn together. But if you had them spawning in or on the same system, with the same current going through it, then you might be able to get cross-fertilization among the offspring. So I'm going to try to mate a pair of queen angelfish and a pair of flame angelfish, which will basically consist of buying a large one of each or buying a small one of each, growing it to a large, by assuming that it won't sell, maybe overpricing it, maybe getting two and having one for sale always and one that isn't. I don't know. But I might just put it in the 50-gallon tub where I'm going to keep them. It's going to be 50-gallon tub for the flame angels and a 75-gallon tub for the queen angels. And if they don't like that, then the queen angels are probably going to go into the big main system, and so are the flame angels. But that's just a lot of water. I'm hoping to use less water to get the cross fertilization happening. And other than that, it's just going to be about trying to make them happy. How to make them happy? Oh, that's more of trial and error. But the main thing is you got to get them well fed. If they feel well fed all the time, then they don't attack each other. If they don't attack each other, wow, chicka wow wow. And then, of course, if you keep feeding them, then the eggs get big yolks and the babies have a fighting chance of surviving. So, anyways, not something I'm counting on. The Aptasia eating filefish and the mandarins, those are pretty much guaranteed going to spawn for me. And of course, clownfish. The only clownfish that their spawn might not work out are Mai and her new percula, Ganju, because he's got little swirls on either side of him. He's got little offset kind of teardrop shapes on either side of him. So it kind of looks like Ganju's pants from Bleach. So I said Ganju, and the wife and the kids all flipped out and said, yay, Ganju. So hope y'all had fun suggesting names. But Ganju is now the name of the little he's the size of my thumb. She's almost the size of my hand. Okay, like that is a big fish. She really is. Like she takes up most of my hand when I hold her. And she knows what's up now as far as getting caught and going back into her tank. When I started to float her in her tank, she started hitting the edge of the receptacle trying to knock it over so she could get back into her damn tank. That fish has personality right there. Feisty little thing. So, yeah. I've even gone so far as to do a currently held assets sheet in which, surprisingly, including the new CRV, which would make a great delivery vehicle, got about $6,000 in assets going towards probably a $40,000 startup loan, including building materials and everything else. All those fish, everything. It's probably going to wind up, what's the magic number? 42,000. But so anyway. Well, silly me, I just saw the similarity in there. And then, I said it in front of the wife and kids who are all Bleach fans. And I've been, well, if you want to talk about why spirit pressure might be running rampant, I've been watching Bleach for the past week while in kind of don't care anymore mode. And just say, I'm in a mood, okay? I'm in a mood. And I don't quite know where this mood is going to take me. Or everybody else for that matter. So anyway. So, our shout-outs. What's up, Sean, Joey, and Maximo? And hi, Carlos, if that is your real name. Carlos is the real Carlos. I thought Carlos was a bot because it said 0 people watching it. I didn't think anybody could even see the freaking broadcast. And Carlos shows up and he starts talking some weird shit. And I'm supposed to know he's talking about Babylon 5. And I'm like, ah! Okay, so anyways. Moving on. So, we have some interesting news. I don't know if y'all heard, but Mr. I felt slightly nauseous got himself slightly fired. I guess he couldn't make enough cupcakes before the delivery date or whatever the challenge was. Hither shalt thou come here and no further. And you're fired. Just had to get that out for all of us with a little flick. Speaking of bleach. And, speaking of bleach, is there a tangible benefit to a spiritual walk of life? Is there a benefit to society? Is there a benefit to nature? Is there a benefit to the environment? Is there a benefit to the survival of the species if more people find value in a meek way of living, whether they like it or not? Now, it's not just in that meekness is the opposite of gluttony. So when someone is living a humble life, they consume less food. Typically speaking, they drive a more energy efficient vehicle because they have to. Well, they wind up being better for the environment because they can't afford to be bad for the environment. Because their overall choices, were they bad, or were their overall choices self-sacrificial? Did they screw themselves for other people? Or did they just choose not to take, choose not to be ambitious? Does making those types of choices make someone better for the environment? Yes. For society? Yes. The less you take, the more there is for other people. The less you consume in excess, the more you can give charitably. Better for the survival of mankind. That is, if you want to drop lofty philosophical opinionations, okay, and say, what is the purpose of a given species? To procreate so that their species can survive. Is it better for the survival of mankind to protect the environment? To help people get along better? Yes, obviously. It is tangibly better. And you can go back historically, the whole idea of, not being slaves anymore. That's a Christian idea. That's a Judeo-Christian idea. Even though, yes, they had slaves, this is something that, through the story of Judaism, became debated whether or not slavery was right, because of all the other moral foundations that Judeo-Christian faith laid. And you can say that Buddhism and Hinduism go back this far and go back this far, but those people won't let you carbon date shit. In fact, they won't even let you see the original copies that they say were written back then, which I find very interesting. But, they'll show you some rock that they say is this old. Rock cannot be carbon dated. Anyways, it's not dead because it's rock. That's you need dead organic matter for there to be enough carbon-14 for there to be something radiocarbon datable. Otherwise, it's going to be left all alone at prom. Not datable. Wah 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 wah. Yeah, and the manga should one day, supposedly, be made into the cartoon. That's how it's been coming out historically. I'll watch Bleach the whole way through, and then watch Bleach just the Arankar saga, and then watch just the Zanpakuto Rebellion or something like. I don't know, like, it's kind of. I think I'm just getting old and set in my ways and shit. And I'm just like, I don't have time for anything new, and I enjoy the level of thought that Bleach gets me on while I'm thinking about other shit when I intermittently pay attention to it. But I don't have the burden of having to pay attention to it because I know what's going on. So it allows for me to be slightly entertained while productive. Anyway. 3 seasons? No, man, you need to go to Hulu. Hulu's where it's at for Bleach. Get you a Hulu Plus. Netflix, man, I'm thinking about canceling my fucking Netflix account. I'm thinking about canceling being awake right now, but yeah, I'm definitely thinking about canceling my Netflix account. We're gonna hold on to Idiocracy until we find a DVD of it and buy it, maybe on Blu-ray. Kira, Idiocracy has become Kira's Bleach, which is good because it's kind of made her more active in seeing like exactly how bad it already is as far as Trump land. And is it too late? Like, is this a lot of money? Is that United We Stand? Grab him by the pussy. And Comey's fired. So, anyways, here's one thing y'all can help me vote on: is which to get first to try to pair off in case I can only afford to get one and not both. I'm going to try to get both. Picasso is the percula clownfish that has instead of like just the normal looking stripes like every clownfish has, some of the stripes kind of branch out towards each other. Okay, so it's got like just like a weird looking stripe pattern. That's what they call it, Picasso. And the onyx obviously is black. The whole clownfish except for the fins is black. All the body in between all the stripes You got orange on the face, orange on the fins. So my plan is to pair off my dark semi-onyx looking lightning percula with an onyx, and pair off my semi-Picasso with a full Picasso, and hopefully get some onyx and some Picasso babies, and be able to, maybe, if I get a really nice onyx baby and a really nice Picasso baby, cross them and have onyx Picasso. So that'd be a black clownfish with orange tips with like the crazy looking pattern in between the stripes, which I don't think I can show you because I don't think anybody's done it yet. He likes the onyx. Yeah, I'm really interested in just having an excuse because, you know, I actually have 2 partial Picassos, so that's 2 to choose from. But that one lightning, he's like really, really dark color. He doesn't like look like an onyx all the way, but I think if I crossed him with an onyx, I would get something interesting. He's got these stripes that kind of have like a faded thing in the middle of them on both sides, like a scribbly kind of fade in the middle of the stripe. It's weird. Hopefully, once I get them separated, if I can get the bird stock in, because that's assets. I could, as I get those in, I can move them over from the cost column into the assets column. You know. Okay, so we still have to convince my wife though, because she wants a. I can make that argument. I do have 2 partial Picassos. I don't want to pair them up together because they're siblings. Okay, I want to get a fresh, you know, non-related new gene pool. You know, that way we'll have the strongest babies as possible. Anyways, so thanks to I believe I saw Joey and I think I saw Sean tweeting with the hashtag nothing else matters. I don't even know if any of the broadcasts that I tried yesterday got up, but that was pretty frustrating. Now I think I figured it out, and we're going to see if I can actually do scheduling and get the notifications out or whatever. Maybe it was not working before. Maybe it's, you know, but then the feedback crashed the browser, so who knows what the hell's going on. But anyways, so anything from now on related to special prosecutor, and go ahead and do troll tags. Whatever people are tweeting about, add that tag, hashtag nothing else matters, and then try to use it to cross-inform them in whatever creative way you can think of. This is kind of like when the walls have already fallen and everybody's like just trying to defend themselves from their own houses while shouting out to the few neighbors that they can see. That's how bad this is. That's how bad it is to be on Twitter. Twitter's, you know, it's the internet. It's social media. It's supposed to be our territory. It was once our territory. But we're just waving around our torches, trying to shout to the neighbors. While the invaders have their way with whatever. Anyways. On that note, I'm going to call it a day for the day. And that's it. So, Comey got fired. Are you shocked? I'm shocked. I don't think anybody's shocked. I bet you Alex Jones isn't shocked. Y'all take it easy. I'm gonna continue making the spirit pressure really weird. My apologies in advance if I no longer feel the need to rely on human means for miracles. Kind of, the less I do in one direction, the more I can do in the other. But that's also a matter of the bottom line getting stretched thin with bills and everything right now, as well as trying to focus on that business plan, because I'd like to go straight from trying to get the trailer place to, if that doesn't work out, or augmenting it with an SBA loan, Small Business Administration. And the roads of opportunity don't end there. I've got some independent people I could present to, but I think doing it all myself with an SBA loan would be very nice. And it's starting to look together enough to where I could probably do that with an extremely easy to read but heavily white papered business plan. So, thanks for joining, y'all. And thanks for your support. What a relief. Y'all click the like button. Share the video if you feel like sharing it. I don't know if it was worth a damn. I'm getting tired right now, y'all. Make sure you're subscribed. Do whatever this means to whatever this is. And bye. No, I know I'm walking out that door the way it's treated.